Hello, I'm Christine Howard. I am the author of the newly launched book, Radiant Achievement. And I thought I would do this video to share a little bit of the backstory of how Radiant Achievement came to be, and maybe give you a few sneak peeks and nuggets about the book that might help you decide if this book is a great fit for you. So I have been a coach for over 20 years, or around that 20-year mark. And I've, for all of my life, have been focused on achievement. As a young girl, it was all about achieving those heart-centered or those different ideas and dreams. And I was so creative. And that really carried with me through all of my life. And at a point in my life when I became a mom and a wife and a stay-at-home entrepreneur, I really went into a tough place in my life. I guess I'll just keep it really simple and say that, where I was all about serving other people, whether it was my spouse, my children, friends, family, and really was all about supporting them to achieve their dreams. It went hand in hand with me supporting my clients to achieve their dreams. And I didn't notice it at the time, for some years, but more and more, I stopped pursuing those things that really mattered to me. I would say it's not a big deal, or there wasn't time, or there wasn't money, or I felt selfish, that other people's needs were higher than my own. And so I just put a lot of those deeper things on the back burner for myself. And over time, it really took a toll. And I write about this in the book, how there was a point in my life that I truly felt like a shell of a woman, because I had just become so disconnected from what was true for me, what was important to me, and what my heart and soul was truly calling me to be in this lifetime. And so through my wake up calls, which I talk about in the book, I was able to reconnect with my true self, reconnect with my, what I call my true essence, and to begin to love myself again from an authentic perspective versus from this head perspective, which is really how I had lived my life. And to step into not just loving myself, but saying yes to those deeper things that were calling to me in my life. And I was able in my healing journey to see how I had been living so externally, how the conditioning from my upbringing, in my family, in my education, in my culture and society had conditioned me to be somebody who was a doer and nurturer, but was very self-sacrificing. So on my journey of healing from my two wake-up calls, which I talk about in the book, I reclaimed the ownership for my life. And I reclaimed that I was the person who was leading my life. And so I went on this journey of reorienting how I lived, how I led, and how I achieved. And I didn't know it at the time, but it really is where Radiant Achievement came from, this reorientation of my life. And I went from this external look and view and perspective to an internal orientation, to connecting with my self-worth, with my intuition, with taking inspired action, with being committed to the higher purpose and the higher expression of my essence in my life. Committed to truly living and being a radiant woman who was turned on about life and was excited from just a really truly organic, natural, heart-centered place for her life. And so that's a bit about how Radiant Achievement came about. Is this It was my journey first, and then in the reflection of my journey, as I was really experiencing new joy and new peace and new excitement and new happiness and hope and fulfillment in my life, I looked back and I had worked with a coach, and it helped me put all the pieces together. And what came up was, this is radiant achievement. This isn't strategic achievement. This isn't the overwork, the overstress, the overplan, the overthink achievement. I truly, from my journey of bringing my projects to life, which again, I talk about in my book, one particular project, I felt more alive, more excited, more joyful. There were synchronicities that happened. And I truly was in this place of authentic happiness and joy and peace, because I was showing up differently, from a different orientation in how I went through the achievement of my goal, of my calling, of my dream. So from that reflection, I put that work then into a workshop, and then eventually that material became the starting point of me writing the book that is now available for you today. So in the context of the book, I really talk about, again, it relates to how my journey went. First, it started with how I achieved, and then I saw I could live this way, and then I could lead with this paradigm. That the book is oriented that way too. So I first talk about, why do we need a new approach to achievement? What's not working with the strategic approach that so many of us have been taught? And then I introduce you to the new approach, which is Radiant Achievement. And then the next section really breaks down the inner powers that make up Radiant Achievement. And I talk about 7 core inner powers that I utilized and I embodied, and embodying these powers, how that all works synergistically, how it does work synergistically to support you achieving your goal, living radiantly, being fulfilled, and really reaching your highest potentials in all aspects of your life. And so I talk at the end on how to make this your lifestyle, how it does relate to being a radiant leader. And so many women are feeling the call to be leaders in their families, in their communities, in their businesses and their careers in ways that they may not have up until this point. So I'm so super excited to really share this perspective for the leaders, for the women that are really feeling called to help bring in the change that is necessary in all these different aspects of the world around us. So there's a section dedicated to that. And then at the end, I talk about how to really integrate this into your life. Because I'm going to tell you this, and I talk about it in the book, this is not a slick 7-step process that will promises, great shifts in 30 days. This is your personal journey, and whatever that looks like, however that unfolds, however long that takes, whatever insights and layers that you need to shed are part of your divine journey to stepping into being your most radiant self, being your most fulfilled self, being most aligned with the purpose you are here to bring to life in this lifetime. And so the powers and the practices that are at the end of the chapters, and even the bonus material that I have for you at the end of each chapter that links to my app, The Radiant Achiever, is all there to support you on your personal journey. And your journey will be like nobody else's. It won't be like mine. It won't be like your sisters or your friends or your colleagues. And that's perfect, because that's part of what I really want to teach you also, is that you have your own beautiful divine journey of challenges and layers to shed and experiences to have and creativity to bring to life. And it can all come together when you embody the powers of radiant achievement and use this approach, again, how you live, how you lead, and how you achieve. That's my spiel on the background behind the book. I hope that gave you some more insights into how the book came to be, to what you can expect from the book, and how the book can support you if you're struggling with overwork or with not enoughness or self-doubt. There's so many layers to this book, and there's so many aspects of issues and problems and struggles that women are experiencing that I believe this book can support to work through. So I thank you for being here, for listening to me, for connecting with me in this video. Please feel free to reach out at christinemarihoward.com. I'm happy to support you. Check out my website, christinemarihoward.com. There's all kinds of resources and a way to connect if you are needing or feeling the call for support on your journey of radiant achievement. I look forward to connecting with you at some point virtually through or through some other platform. And again, thank you for being here. Bye for now.